Well, friends, we did it. I still can't believe it. This is going to be a little bit awkward. Videos like this are pretty awkward for me. I don't watch them, so hopefully, for who it's worth, this will be something for you. I am at a spot right now. I'm going to show you. I'm in a forest, pretty dense forest all around. Going to go for a walk as I try to just express my gratitude for whoever has 8 minutes of time to listen. And if you don't, just please know how grateful I am. But I'm going to take you on a walk to one of my favorite spots that coincides with this album. This spot is called Avens Creek, and it's about 20 minutes from my house. And it flows into the Cape Fear River. Some of you may have heard of that. Big river. Anyway, for the past month or so, North Carolina has been on a pretty massive drought. Maybe it's not as massive as some places in the Midwest right now, but we're talking days have been 100 degrees. Each day. I mean, for weeks you're at 95 degrees, 100 degrees. One week we broke, I think it was 104 degrees outside, then 102. And without rain, I mean, all the water is just drying up. I mean, you look at lawns that were nice, that people were taking care of, and they just sort of given up on it because you can't waste the water on it. So all the grass is dying, dead, brown, yellow, trees are dying. Well, anyway, as a writer and an artist, the Lord has blessed me to be able to come out and do work, to write devotionals, write songs at some beautiful spots. And Avens Creek has been one of those spots. Whenever I come here, I kind of feel like David when he writes in the Psalms about God leads the deer or he leads his sheep, by still waters, by gentle waters. And that's how I feel. As soon as I walk down at the end of this path and I hear the sound of the waterfall, there's a little waterfall, and I can sit there on the rocks and write. There's just a calm that comes over me. And I'm sure many of you who love to hike, love to be out in God's beautiful, creation, can relate to that completely. It's definitely not just an artist and a musician thing. That's a thing that we can all appreciate, and we should probably do more of. All that to say, though, for the past month, it's been dry. And about 3 weeks ago, I came out here trying to get some inspiration. I was pretty depressed, and I'll just say that turning 40 really hit me hard. And then my wife giving birth to our beautiful fourth baby, Selah. She's just been a joy. With another daughter who we love, Mariah. She's just turning 2, and it's pure chaos. So we have 4 kids now, so turning 40 with a new baby, already kind of lacking energy and sleep, just really wore me down. And then other things, and then to the point that I wasn't going to do a Kickstarter. I was going to just quit on it, and trust me, what I'm saying to you is not, this is not exemplary, but I was just in a place of just feeling broken down a lot and kind of isolated a lot. My wife was kind. She talked to me and she's like, Seth, I think you should try to do a Kickstarter. Don't give up on it. Just try it. Some of you, some friends from California, Matt, and some others reached out to me and said, Seth, I really think you should do this Kickstarter. Some of us who live across, into the West Coast, who aren't able to support you there, want to have a way to support you. And so that meant a lot. Andrew, who's producing the album and a fellow artist with me and friend, he encouraged me to do it. I ended up canceling the show on August 7th that I had for reasons I won't go into. But that was kind of another part of this sort of depression at the time. So when I came out to the creek, long story short, and that waterfall wasn't there, it was just a little trickling stream that was coming down. And whereas it used to be a nice stream that would bend around these rocks that I'll show you, it was just 2 disjointed, just pretty much stagnant pools when I came out about a few weeks ago. And so instead of getting that little bit of inspiration I needed, that little bit of a second wind from the Lord, I felt like I was looking at kind of a picture of my own artistic endeavor, my own life in a way, as it were. And that was really difficult. So, wow, I'm lost now. Oh, there we go. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Give you some scenes. Making our way up this horse trail. We might pass a couple of horses on the way. But all that to say, so, coming here, but in the middle of a drought, it just all was drying up. Everything just felt dry. And that's the way the devil can attack my mind. I don't know about you, what your dry seasons feel like, but I do take a lot from analogies. That's why I write concept albums about the seed or about the sea. So I really do take that in. So when I'm in a place that was once thriving and full and all of a sudden it's dead and it's dry, I look in the mirror and I'm already kind of feeling that way and despond at myself and saying, Lord, what is this a picture of me? Am I looking in the mirror of my own life? What do I need to give up and give over to you? So that's happening. Well, anyway, when I started the Kickstarter, honestly, I did not know truly. I trusted the Lord that he would provide because he has all the funds. There's the sound of one of the falls. I mean, this is nothing for the Lord, but trusting the Lord gets difficult in times, as you know, because I don't trust when I set out to make an album, when I set out to kind of find an arbitrary number of, I know what I need to make the album, but that need feels enormous. And it feels enormous to ask other people to try to give that out of their own economic struggles. And some of you guys have already reached out. You're looking for a job. You've got your own families you're trying to take care of. And some people who wanted to give couldn't give, even $20 because they're in the middle of trying to buy a house and things like that. And that's just life. And so it's like, Lord, how can I even, I'm being selfish and vain to even slap a number like $8,000 on, or frankly, $6,000, and trying to ask people to help me make an album that the world doesn't need another album. And, B, even if the Lord wants me to do that, which he might affirm that, I don't know that God wants me to do that. The Lord could allow this to fail. So when I started out and I asked for $8,000, I'm thinking like, how do we even get there? And, trusting the Lord is the Lord can get me there if he wants to, but he also might want me to fail in this. He might want me to really hit a wall, and maybe I'm not at rock bottom like I thought I was 3 weeks ago at this creek. Maybe rock bottom is going to be an even harder hitting thing where I get to the end of the Kickstarter and we've raised $6,000 and that's it, and we get nothing, and I need to move on to something else. And the Lord's showing me, Seth, I want you to trust me, but I have a different plan for you right now. I need this thing to break down. You guys may have been in a car wreck that you weren't expecting, or maybe you had a job you liked, as some of you did, and you got fired, or you lost your job. The Lord's will is obviously like that, where I trust that he can do this if he desires to do it, but I don't trust that I know in the moment, I can't say to God, hey God, I need 10,000, you know that, so can you just, let the rains pour in, I'm going to make this thing. I can't bend my will to his. I have to find out and discern along the way, as you do, Lord, what is your will for me? So all that to say, we're taking in a lot. I'm still kind of in zombie mode with a new baby and trying to get back to work and taking a long time off of work and getting behind. Our family needs a vacation. But y'all have been an enormous blessing, an enormous answer to prayer that's hard to put into words. And I hope that context makes some sense. And an amazing thing that my wife pointed out too is, so yesterday was when the Kickstarter ended. Yesterday was also Mariah's second birthday, so we got to celebrate that with her. But the night before, going into yesterday morning, it rained all night long. Guys, this is the first rainfall we've gotten that lasts more than 30 minutes. We'll get storm clouds one day, it'll rain for 20 minutes and then just go away. And it just rained all night into the morning. It was still raining. And my wife pointed out after the Kickstarter, was because I'm looking metaphorically, the Lord brought the rains. $10,000 from 87 people. On average, these people are giving $120 or more. And I'm just blown away by the grace of the Lord. I'm blown away by your kindness that y'all want me to make another album and are invested in it. So when I sit down to write, when I go today to record drums with Henry and Andrew, I know that I'm not just throwing seeds into a void, into an empty algorithm on Spotify for faces I'll never know and names I'll never know. Now there's 87 people there, 90 with the 3 people who gave because they didn't know how to use Kickstarter and gave me some money. Now there's 90 people, this choir who is with me in this endeavor. So if you're still listening right now to all this, I know it's awkward and I appreciate it. Just thank you so much for being an arm lifter like Aaron lifted the arms of Moses, for being used of the Lord to put some rain back in my cup that as a man and as an artist was really starting to just feel emptier and emptier. Not in life in general, not towards my wife and my kids and towards the Lord, but in this artistic endeavor, just thinking, Lord, at 40 with 4 kids and a job, I don't have the space to make music and go more into debt and take my family more into debt. I want to make this album, but I just can't foot that bill anymore. We're already trying to, by His grace, kind of dig our way out of some of that from the past. So you guys have been a river. You guys have been a rainfall that was so needed at just the perfect times. Not only did this thing end yesterday and we got to the 10,000 mark that I've been praying for, but it just so happened that on that day, it was also raining outside as well. So today, I can celebrate. I can come back to this creek that 3 weeks ago was as dry can be. And now you can hear the sound. Now that waterfall is moving again. And yeah, the rains are flowing again. The water's flowing again. So I just want to celebrate that. I want to celebrate this image, and I'll just leave. I'll stop talking. I can just take you down to the river and show you around if you're still listening, because this is a picture of what you have done and what you have been. Raindrops from that heavenly cloud, that divine cloud that has poured into my life and my family's life. And I'm just so excited to make more music and to take it to the next step. Here you go. Here's Avens Creek. It's kind of dirty and brown right now because it was just a flood, but it's still beautiful. Step up on this rock. And here's a nice bench where I'll sit to write. Getting ready to record tonight from this spot. Now you guys are joining me, so thank you so much. God bless.